Hello ladies and guys, today I'm going to hit you up with a video on quick and easy snacks that you can take with you and you don't have to grab chocolates and muffins on the go. So that can help you lose weight or keep the weight off. Okay, so let's start with our base, our carbs. And then we will go into some savory snacks, and then I will move on to the sweet snacks, which is the fun stuff. Well, for those who have a sweet tooth like me. So I'm going to start with all the biscuits and crackers and things like that. Crust Kits. You've probably seen these brand around. Now they come in all different flavors. They're plain and simple. I like to get the rice ones because I personally try to keep my wheat and gluten intake on the low side, just because sometimes it bloats me a little bit. If you don't have a problem with wheat, you can go for rye or whatever flavor you prefer. But these are rice ones, and according to the list of their ingredients, they just have rice flour, salt, milk powder, and baking powder. No sign of wheat in these. So if you're gluten intolerant, that's probably a good option for you. Another thing I really love to have, always have it at home, is rice cakes. You can get the flavored ones or you can get the plain ones, or with addition of some quinoa if you want, which doesn't taste much different to the plain rice cake, but it does give it a little bit of flavor. So it's up to you, or you can get the pure plain rice cakes. There's so many different options available. These are obviously not good if you want to put something sweet on them. You can just eat them by itself because they're quite flavorsome. Or you can put, avocado on it or something like that. And these are great for both. All right, so another really good little snack that I like is peckish rice cakes. These are good to just snack on the go. Now, this is probably not the healthiest thing in the world, but it's much better to some of the other alternatives. This is better than having chips. This is my version. If I really feel like having a packet of chips, I'd rather have that, because per serving, it only has 1.3 grams of fat and 0.4 grams of sugar. Serving is about one row, and there's 4 rows in there. I'd rather have a packet of these than a packet of chips because it's going to work out a lot fewer calories. So if you need something salty, crunchy, and full of flavor, this is a good option. Now, they do contain quite a bit of sodium, 96 milligrams of sodium per serve. So if you want to make it even a little bit healthier, then you can go for this option here. Brown rice crackers, also by Peckish, found at Woolies or Coles. And these only contain 11 milligrams versus 96. 11 milligrams of sodium per serve. So now these are a lot more plain in flavor, of course. I like them because they're quite nutty kind of taste and toasty, nutty kind of flavor. But if you find them a little bit bland, here's what you can have them with. Beetroot flavored hummus. Now, I prefer this particular brand because it only has 1.6 grams of fat per serve and 0.5 grams of sugar, which is really good. And you can put that on these rice cakes, or you can put it on these crust kits. So that's another good option. Another thing that I like to have in my car always, or in my bag, always rolling around, is a couple of these babies. That's your tinned tuna. I can't stand the one in spring water or in brine because it's just so boring. If you like that, more power to you. I prefer the onion tomato savory flavor, and sugar is 3.7 grams per serve, which isn't too bad. Now, if you want to go a little bit healthier because you're worried about mercury and the sugar content in there, salmon is another good option. I get this one from Aldi Ocean Rise brand. Sorry, it's upside down. I like this. I like the premium red salmon because I find the flavor is so much better than normal salmon, but normally red salmon is more expensive. At Aldi, it's actually not too bad. I love my Aldi shopping. Another option, if you're sick of your tinned fish, you can go for this. Now, who doesn't like smoked salmon? Okay, maybe a few of you don't, but if you do, this is a great option. Now, this is actually smoked ocean trout. The reason why I buy it, this particular brand, and in bulk like that, is because it's actually only $35 per kilo, it works out to be, as opposed to $55 per kilo if you buy smoked salmon in those little 200, 300 gram packets, which is a lot more expensive. Now, obviously, smoked salmon, ocean trout, things like that is a bit of a luxury item. It's not necessarily on everybody's shopping list every week. But if you do want to eat something a little bit tasty and you don't mind buying this, this is a much cheaper option. Also, I have realized that ocean trout is actually lower in fat than smoked salmon. I don't recall exactly how much, but I've compared the two together. Ocean trout is 3.6 grams of fat only per serve, which is 50 grams. So now you're probably thinking, what the hell am I going to do with this huge bag of smoked trout? I'm not going to go through that in 1 week and it's going to go off. This is what I do. Now, obviously, it's up to you if you want to do this, but I portion it out into little sandwich bags like this. I freeze 2 of them and I leave one in the fridge, so it always stays fresh. I personally find that it's fine defrosted. I don't see much of a difference in taste, but it is a much more economical way of eating this type of stuff. And of course, one thing I've missed, for all your crust kits and rice cakes, you can have some avocado. To me, avocado is my butter. All right, another little good snack is bocconcini. And yes, I do buy them at Aldi because I find that are cheaper there. And bocconcini are quite high in protein. They are also a little bit high in fat because it is a cheese, of course. But the great thing about them is they're less than 1 gram of sugar. So even a lot of dairy and cheeses contain naturally occurring sugar in there. So if you really want to cut the sugar out, these are not bad. So I really like to have those. You can have them with some rice crackers. And another thing I really like to take with me, which makes it really easy to eat, is some boiled eggs. Boil 5 or 6 of them. I actually pre-peel them as well, so that way I don't even have to muck around with it, because sometimes, let's face it, if you're busy at work, you don't even have time to peel an egg. So pre-peel them, put them in a container like this, and when you're ready to eat them, you just pop them in your mouth. How much easier can it be? But yes, you do need to boil them the day before and peel them. That's another great snack. You can of course put them with some avocado again on your crust kits and some smoked salmon if you want to really make it fancy and exciting. Otherwise, just eat them as they are. Another great little things that I always buy, because I want to make sure I have some veggies as well, even during my snack time, is those little cucumbers. How cute are these? Obviously, you've seen them at Woolies or Aldi, so you don't have to cut them up. Same thing goes for cherry tomatoes. So here's your veggies. You can just throw a few of them in your lunch bag, in a little Tupperware container or a little plastic sandwich bag. Wash them up. You don't have to cut them. You don't have to muck around with it. Just like your boiled eggs. Very simple. You can have a cucumber, a boiled egg, a couple of crackers, and then you can even really have that for lunch if you're rushing and there is nothing else out there other than Macca's or some fatty, greasy food around like lasagnas and pastas. You can even have that for lunch. All right, another little snack that I really, really like to have is something that I sort of made up myself. Now, give it a try and see if you like it. I have pre-cooked, pre-baked some sweet potatoes. So this is purple and your normal orange sweet potato, just baked with some herbs and spices. I've made that for dinner last night and I thought, why don't I have leftovers for snack? But what I like to do with it is I like to put some of this high protein plain yogurt. I get this Dairy Dream high protein yogurt from Aldi. The reason why I get this one is because it is 17.5 grams of protein per serve. It is quite a large serve, 180 grams, I believe. Yes, it is, which is quite a substantial amount. You don't have to have that much. I normally have about half of that on top of my sweet potatoes. And only 0.4 grams of fat, 5.9 grams of naturally occurring sugars, and it's 103 calories for 180 grams. That's pretty good. Now, on top of the sweet potatoes, your plain yogurt is going to actually taste pretty good. I like this combo. Give it a go. You might not like it, but give it a try. I thought it was really good. So we're moving slowly into our sweet snacks, which I am looking forward to. If you have a sweet tooth like me, you're going to enjoy these ones. We're going back to your plain rice cakes, and I add some peanut butter. Now, obviously, you have to be not allergic to peanuts, and the one that I buy is Kraft, no added salt or sugar. And if you want to make it taste a little bit more exciting, what I normally do is I put about 10 grams, 10 to 20 grams, so do measure it out because it is quite high in calories, even though it's healthy, between 2 rice cakes, and I put a little bit of honey and cinnamon and put it like a sandwich together in one of my sandwich bags, make a couple of those, and it's a great snack on the go. It's so tasty. And another thing that you can do, which is even simpler and easier if you don't have the time to put peanut butter in between your rice cakes, here is another easier and simpler version. Rice cakes that are already coated in chocolate for you, in dark chocolate. Now, of course, these are going to contain a bit more sugar and a bit more fat because it is real chocolate that they're coated in. But again, in comparison to your other sweet snacks like banana breads and muffins and all these other things that you can buy at a cafe, this is still a better option because it's usually will be a lot lower in calories than other things that you can have out there. 16 calories per cake. Obviously, they are only small size, so obviously you're probably going to end up having more than one cake. So don't be fooled that it's only 16 calories per serve. But still, at the end of the day, it's a better option. So Table of Plenty is the brand, normally found at Woolies or Coles, along next to normal rice cakes or sometimes in the health section. So that's another great option. And then of course there is your fruit. In terms of fruit, I normally try to go for kiwi fruit, rock melon and berries, because those fruit are usually a little bit lower in sugar compared to, say, your mangoes and bananas. So if you want to have your fruit, green apples as well. So those are good options. I'm not going to go through all the fruit with you now, but with fruit, as long as you're not having a huge amount, fruit is good for you. So by all means, everything in moderation, have a little bit of fruit in your everyday nutrition. And now last but not least, this is just my little naughty treat that I have sometimes. Naughty, but not so naughty. Ice cream. Most people like ice cream, right? But sometimes you are sitting and watching TV at home and you're thinking, oh, I really want something sweet. And this may not be the healthiest thing in the world because yes, it is artificially sweetened. However, Peter's no sugar added ice cream, vanilla ice cream. Only 61 calories per serve, which is about 2 scoops. You can put some strawberries on top, and just every now and then, it's still a better option than having a full sugared ice cream. Full of sugar. So this is what I personally go for. This is not the most healthiest thing because it does have some artificial sweeteners in there. So beware of that. But it's still, to me personally, it's a better option than having Cornetto or something like that. It's full of sugar and fat. It's also low fat as well. So I hope this video will come in handy, and I hope some of these snacks you will enjoy. Hopefully most of them will come in handy. And I will hit you up soon with some more videos on either food or fitness. Probably planning on doing another video on some healthy desserts. So keep an eye out for that. Yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you have a fantastic day. Enjoy.